catch my last bite. These bitches mad trife, these niggas don't act right. I bet that AR make that ass act right. I been trill and I been living a savage life, bagging white, trying to be rich in the afterlife, nigga.
Oh, damn. Oh, what was going on? So I know I had my mic off. Let me start over. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. All right. I have a special guest on tonight, Lavelle Jones. He's with us. He's going to share his story. If you watched the reaction video that we did in the documentary, he was actually in the documentary. He was at one time a business or a music associate of R. Kelly, so he has a little bit of insight about. He has a lot of insight about a lot of the things that went on that people are speculating or asking questions about. Without further ado, I want to let him introduce himself. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just trying to get this thing together, and I know I know it'd be hard for like the Google Hangout sometimes. You know, we're just gonna try to do that, but that's why I said you can call in. The phone is always a short shot of getting on the show, so that's all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
And I appreciate you reaching out. To me. And wanting to share your story with me. I mean, you could have, went anywhere with the story, because I know a lot of people would be willing to interview you and hear what you had to say. So I do appreciate you reaching out to me, and sharing this with us.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, I appreciate the platform. I stumbled across the show. I'm a fan now. I went back and watched a lot of episodes, but I was looking for the link for the documentary to share, and I stumbled across the show, and I seen it was 2 hours long. I was like, why is this 2 hours long? So I started listening to it, and he was going in on everybody, and it was real entertaining. You know what I'm saying? He was clowning a few folks, but I'm a fan now. You know what I'm saying? I realize it's all entertainment, but at the end of the day, it's a serious story behind it.
True.
And I'm able to give a little more in depth because I was there, I lived it, you know what I'm saying, for a few years. And not only was I a business associate, I was close to him, his brother, his family. So, we basically, when you're on tour with somebody, you family. So we're family for 4 years.
Yeah, definitely. When you're around somebody that long. Let me just ask you some background questions about yourself real quick. How long have you been involved in the music industry?
I've been in the music industry for probably over 27 years now. Me and my brother had a group on MCA Silas Records back in the late 90s, early 2000s called Twice. We worked with everybody from D'Angelo, Angie Stone, Joe Levert, Rodney Jerkins, wrote songs for Silk. So I've been entrenched in the music business for over 25 years in one way or the other, rather writing, producing, or performing. I toured with R. Kelly. I toured with Keith Sweat for a number of years as well. Road managed Keith Sweat, and I have my own independent label. I have artists that I'm pushing now. So, I've always been intertwined in the music.
That's what's up. like dealing with the conversation that we talking about and the allegations and things that's been put out there about R. Kelly, is and you've worked with other people and you've been in the industry. Is there some similarities out there with his case as well as just with the music industry where there's some inappropriate things going on as far as sexually with like young girls?
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be some inappropriate things going on in any industry. I don't care if you're in the banking industry, music industry, the presidency, you know what I'm saying? But at this level, I have not experienced it like this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's truly like a Jekyll and Hyde. You know, he's charming. He allows you to get close to him after a while. You know what I'm saying? You get close when you get brought into his world, but then you start seeing some things that's just ugly. You know what I'm saying? And but nothing compares to what Rob has done over the last several decades.
Wow. All right. Let's get into this then. How did you meet R. Kelly?
Okay. At the time, me and my brother had a record deal. We were in the studio recording for our first album with MCA. And a good friend of ours, her name is Calandra Michi Glenn. She sang background for him as well. She called us and said, hey, we need some background singers here in Chicago. I'm on tour. R. Kelly just got the gig. You and your brother should come down. I said, okay, when we go? She said, we need y'all out here today. So we went out there without clothes, anything. And my mom and my girlfriend at the time, they bust our clothes there because we ended up getting there, getting the job the same day. They wouldn't let us go back home. So we had to get our clothes sent in on the Greyhound. And we were there 6 months rehearsing before we went on tour.
Wow. So
that's how it all started.
so that's how it all started. Now, which tour did you go on tour? I think it was the 12 play tour.
We started at the 12 play tour. Yeah, that's where it all started. That's really where he started to come into his own as an artist and producer. Really blew up. The first album, it went platinum, but it didn't really establish him as a superstar. 12 play, he sold 5 or 6 million copies. That was his first world tour. We toured all over the world. We went over to Africa, England. We went all over the United States. So that's where he really started to blow up, and his ego started to take over. That's R. Kelly. We knew him as Rob.
Right.
It's two different entities. It's Rob, and his alter ego is R. Kelly.
Okay.
And that's when R. Kelly started to take over.
Okay, all right. Now, you talked about this, but I want to bring it up so we can talk about it. During your time touring with R. Kelly, did you see or hear anything like him inappropriately dealing with underage girls?
You heard it all the time. You saw underage girls around all the time. He was careful that nobody, saw him, in the act of having sex or doing anything like that. But it was common knowledge that, hey, he liked girls young. We got the job at the time. It's not that we was oblivious to it, but you have to understand back then in '94, you didn't have 2 decades of allegations and charges and payoffs and claims. You know what I'm saying? It was just, hey, we were just getting to know this cat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we noticed there was always young girls around, and Leah was around. She was young. And you also started to notice something weird between his wife, his ex-wife. We called her baby girl, Andrea, and Aaliyah. So when it was just Andrea there, she had this little dog called 12 Play, a little pug. And she would have the dog control the dog. When Aaliyah came, Aaliyah would have the dog. So it was like whoever had the dog was with Rod, that week. They had the control and had Rod that week. So they would fight over who's going to have the dog. So, I just thought that was odd. It started off with like little things like that. And then, we became friends with the background singers. And I'm not the background singers, but the background dancers.
Okay.
And he was really controlling with them. He wouldn't let them get off the bus. He wouldn't let them go to any after parties. He was, it was just really unusually. He wouldn't let them go to the bathroom by themselves. They had to get escorted to the bathroom. He made them ride on the bus with them. I became close friends with a few of them. I'm not gonna say their names because.
Right, that's cool.
They told me so that he would make them have sex and with each other and with him. You know what I'm saying? And one of the girls, she ended up leaving early in the tour because she just had enough. You know what I'm saying? She knew who to pick because these girls were from inner city Chicago. They had nothing else going on. You know what I'm saying? They can dance, they had talent, but you making $1,500 a week plus per diem, and where you gonna get that at Chicago at 19, 20 years old? You know what I'm saying? Most of them come from broken homes or whatever, so they put up with a lot of stuff because we were out with one of the biggest stars there was, and it didn't happen overnight. It happened gradually. They just looked up and they was in this situation. It was effed up. I don't even know if I cuss on it.
Yeah, you can. You can say whatever you want to say. It's
okay,
cool.
Yeah. It was a fucked up situation. It's almost like God or wife situation. They would share shit with me. This nigga tripping. He don't want to talk to nobody. He told us to stay away from them twins. That's me and my brother. He wouldn't let him talk to nobody. So when you hear these current allegations, it's like his doctor, he's still doing the same exact thing. It's only times 10 because he's had 20 years to polish his skills.
Right. So, and that was something that I was going to ask you, like, based off of, your interaction with him. Basically, you kind of just answered the question. So basically, there is a need for like families or people to be concerned about the girls who they're saying that he's keeping in this like quote unquote sex cult allegedly, where they saying they can't have contact. So,
absolutely. Given this track record, man, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like I said, he hasn't slowed down, man. He's perfected his craft. He's a predator. At the time I was young, I didn't see all this stuff, but after 20 years of, hearing the same things, you get off because you're paying people, you got all these non-disclosures and all this shit. An innocent guy don't make no non-disclosures. An innocent guy don't push a trial back for 6 years or have 20 people he paying off. He was paying off people back then, not to talk or this or that. And it's like, man, anybody that will have their daughters around this cat is kidding themselves. They crazy. They foolish. That's why I can't understand this father now who has his daughter there and is coming out and talking and this. You know what this guy was?
I said the same thing. So what? And that's what. Okay, so because I don't want us to like kind of cross a line where we saying, but with knowing some of the things to me, it seems like some of the parents may be benefiting from the situation that the children is in, because we don't hear all of the families coming out, but we hear, this one guy, it seems like he might not have got paid. That's how it felt to me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's true, you know what I mean? But that's just the way that it seems.
You talking
Timothy,
the father?
Yeah, the father. Timothy, I think Timothy Savage.
I'm not sure. I don't want to really get in that, but I know in the past there's been some parents that has benefited. There's even been some people in R. Kelly's circle who was supposed to be managing, who was Aaliyah's uncle. Everybody had a motive. Robert is not the most intelligent guy, and they knew that he had a lot of shortcomings when it comes to reading and understanding. So a lot of people took advantage of him. You know what I'm saying? While he was taking advantage of them, they were taking advantage of him. He's been sued a lot. He's paid off a lot. And, he's been set up a lot, even by his own manager, who was at the time, Barry Hankinson was Gladys Knight's husband, but it's her ex-husband now, but he's an old gangster. You know what I'm saying? He had to keep Rob from the beginning, from stealing his publishment, stealing half of his record company. Rob don't read. He don't write.
Right.
When the cat was on there saying that, he don't write down the music, he just go in there and do it, that's because he can't write.
Right.
He's a musical genius, but he has a lot of shortcomings, and I think a lot of this problem, a lot of the power and the control comes from the low self-esteem, you know, that he feels about himself. He's never been able to lead.
Yeah. One of the things that surprises me is that, like, I know women who like R. Kelly's music, but ultimately I know women who just like R. Kelly. These are grown women, and it's mind boggling that he's attracted to these young women when he really possibly could have damn near any grown woman he would want.
Anybody.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. Well, his craft works a little bit better on these younger ones than the older ones. Now he can, you know, he's had older ones and stuff like that, but the young ones are more impressionable. They can mold them. He likes to so-called train them as his pets, and he's been using that term for 2 decades. You know, so he gets these young girls and he can train them and they do anything you want. He has collars on them, leashes on them, you know, and basically do anything they want. Then, you know, they get older. He throw them away. He gets some new young girls. You know, it's really, really crazy that it's been going on this long.
So,
you know what I'm saying? And,
so when you say, I'm sorry, but when you say pets, so you mean he's actually treating them like pets?
Oh, absolutely. Like slaves, dogs. Yeah. I mean, I've known girls who dated him. I'm best friends with one of them, and you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna say her name, but she didn't stand for it. I mean, they fought like cats and dogs on tour. We used to call him Ike and Tina because he tried to control her, tell her what to wear. You ain't going to this, you know. They'd be fighting in the lobby. You know what I'm saying? She didn't put up with it. She was not a young girl. You know what I'm saying? So his magic didn't work on her. You know what I'm saying? I'm still friends with her to this day. She's still in the music industry and she sings with other people. But, you know, it didn't work. His craft worked a lot better on younger girls. You know what I'm saying? They were more impressionable. You know, 15, 16-year-old. I mean, who don't want to be with R. Kelly?
Yeah. Because I remember in the documentary they were showing, you know, some of the girls that were at one time young who said that he would come around to the school, you know, and pick girls up, you know, in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
McDonald's, you know, he would get off the tour bus, and I mean, you know, he would go into McDonald's. I mean, who scouts at McDonald's? You're a multi-millionaire. You know, you travel all over the world. You stop at McDonald's, give out tickets, tell them to bring some friends, get backstage pass, and you know, we would try to guard as best we can. Like, them girls are way too young. You know what I'm saying? Them girls are young. You can just look at them. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of times you would put us in charge of getting people back to the after party of who were holding something in the penthouse suite or whatever. And, you know, he would try, hey, get them girls over there. And we were like, nah, man, them girls way too young. You know what I'm saying? And a few of the guys on tour would do that. But there was a lot of people who were yes men. And, you know, you made a point in the video, well, why come you didn't tell nobody back then? And like I said before, you know, we didn't have 2 decades of allegations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just, you know, something that we just tried to curve off. You know, then, they too young. It was part of, you know, it was just part of the industry. You know what I'm saying? We never saw them in the act having sex with a 15-year-old or 12-year-old or 13-year-old, but we knew they was always around. And, you know, if you weren't 18, you wouldn't get past me. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't get past my boys. You know what I'm saying? But he's the boss. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some guys would let him pass or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it was crazy. And it still is crazy.
Now, how would he react to somebody telling him, like, no, they, you know, like, nah, they too young? Like, was it kind of like a... Was there any, you know...
No, it wasn't a slap in the face. I mean, because he knew it. He wouldn't even pay no mind. Because he just turned around and get somebody else to bring the girl.
All right. Now, at this time, you know, during this time when you were out on tour, like, for this example that you're using, about how old would you say R. Kelly was at this time?
He was about 25 years old at the time.
Yeah, so grown. All right.
Yeah, he was good and grown.
Definitely. Wow. Man,
Good and grown.
so you
And Aaliyah at the time was barely 15. They were introduced when she was 13, but she was barely 15 during this time. You know.
right. Okay, so you mentioned her, and I kind of want to let you say what you would want to say. You know, dealing with. Just tell me. Can you? Is there anything that you can just speak on about
I would say
Aaliyah?
this. Nobody has ever said this in public. Just being in the camp, there's certain information you have access to. It's not documented or anything like. You just know shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? So I never seen any documentation, all that stuff. But the main reason that was said that they went and got pregnant because her family found out that they was messing around, and they were going to bring criminal charges, and nobody's ever openly said that she was pregnant by at 15. So when the shit hit the fan, it won't look like you just taking advantage of this girl. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, his manager at the time was Barry Hankerson, who is Aaliyah's uncle. Basically pushed them to do that, to have that ceremony, to go get married. So it wouldn't look like he was just trying to take advantage of her. It looked like he was truly in love with her, which he could have been, but shit, she was a kid.
Right.
Eventually, she didn't have the baby. They were separated. As part of a settlement, they weren't allowed to see each other, talk to each other. And at the time, she was 15 years old. She didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But as she grew and started working with other people, you realize, damn, I was taking advantage of her. At the time, I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And he was going to make her a star. So, people overlooked a lot of things that looked kind of strange and weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody was going to get paid, including the uncle who was the manager.
Right. So the uncle, I mean, I remember this. So the uncle definitely is the one who introduced these two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's wild. So let me ask you this: have you ever met Kitty Jones?
No, I haven't met Kitty Jones.
Okay, because I know she was in the documentary too. How did you become a part of this documentary that came out on BBC?
Well, it was the BBC had did an article last year, and they were reaching out to people on Facebook who had worked with him, and they had reached out to some other band members who had been in the band or whatever, and they traded numbers and told him to get in contact with me. So when he called me, I have more story because I was just a band member. I took care of his brother when they were going through what they were going through. I actually have the conversation on tape where they're offering him $50,000 in a record deal to say what's him on the tape that Killer shut his brother up about. I got that. We had that on a record. You know what I'm saying? So I actually got that conversation. So I was entrenched because me and his brother was like brothers, man. I took care of him. You know what I'm saying? I put him up in one of my rental houses. I took him in the studio, got him recorded. I took him to every radio station, Hot 97, every talk show to tell a story because he has a fascinating story. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he doesn't want to tell it because he's holding out hope that one day they're going to get back together. But I'm going to tell you, it's a false hope. Right. Rob is selfish. You look at the conditions his brother was living in. He's been living that way for the last 20 years.
Yeah, they family. They
sleeping in his car.
Yeah, they messed up. Messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. And he is messed up because not just his financial situation, but because he loved his brother. Man, they loved R. Kelly, but R. Kelly is an egomaniac. When this guy had talent, he could have had anybody put him on. Rob would tell other people, the Isley Brothers and everybody, hey, I got him. Had no intention on doing anything with his brother because his ego was too big. He told his brother at one time, you don't need to be in this business. I'll get you a muffler shop. Imagine that. Wow. You don't need to do this. I'll get you a muffler shop. You can just do that. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Man,
that's crazy.
You can't begin to know what kind of motherfucker this cat is.
That's crazy. Instead of wanting his brother to, be successful, I'm gonna get you a muffler shop and go sit over there and shut up. You know what I mean? Go sit in the corner, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you this: when his brother was on tour on the stage with him every night. Everybody else getting paid $1,200, $1,500 a week plus per diem. He was paying his brother $250 a week. Doing a major tour. 6 nights a week, you going all over the world. He getting $250 a week. His brother would treat him like he was the bag man, make him carry, the groupies bags and all that shit. They would get into it. Killer would kick his ass fight. Rob would kick him off the tour. You know what I'm saying? Then 2 weeks later, he'll be back. And, that's how all that tape shit, Killer discovered the tape when he got kicked off the tour. And he used to go in there and take all the VCR tapes before, he'd go home. And that's how the tape came.
So when you say Killer is the brother, right?
Killer, Kelly, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, let's go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was going to say, since you brought up the tape, explain like how that tape came about.
Okay. The tape came about, Killer and Rob got into a fight after a show. Rob said Killer messed up. This was a, every week occurrence when they backstage. Nigga, you fucked up and this is my show and blah, blah, blah. And, everybody was getting dressed or whatever. He took his dirty drawers and threw them in Killer's face. Killer jumped on the nigga, beat his ass. So he had Killer escorted out and basically kicked him off the tour. So Killer went to the tour bus to collect his things. And when he was in there, he was taking videotapes and, just petty shit, being petty. He gets back to the crib and pops in the tape. It was supposed to be Stephen King, Sometime They Come Back. I remember that time because it was ironic. He pops in the tape and, there's Rob with the girl.
Damn.
Yeah. So when he had the tape in his possession, and at that time he actually was staying with me for a while. We were on break for a tour. He was staying with me for a while because he really had no place to go. He was only making $250 a week, so he came to Cleveland. Basically, he reached out to Rob, but Rob wouldn't answer his calls and nothing like that. So he called Barry. And he told Barry that, hey, he had this tape, and it's Rob on here with these girls, and basically, this shit should put him away for life. Barry wanted him to, Barry was going to come down personally to get the tape, and he was like, no, I'm not putting this tape in nobody's hand but my brother. Okay? So eventually they end up flying Killer up there, making him take a lie detector test to make sure he didn't have any other copies. Paid up his rent for 6 months in this apartment called the Americana on the Lake Erie in Cleveland. I don't know if you know where it used to be called the Americana. Mm-hmm. And paid up his rent for 6 months and basically just left him to die.
Wow.
So at that time, they had the tape. Barry was the manager, so Barry had control of the tape. Nobody knew about the tape for a couple of years, right, until Rob decided to fire Barry. So that's when the tape was leaked.
Oh, so basically, once he got fired, the tape mysteriously just came out in the public. All right, but
Absolutely.
You're saying it was several years had passed while the tape was already had already been made
in their possession. It was at least 2 years, and while the tape was still in accession, 2-3 years. The tape was safe or whatever. Nobody had copies of the tape, but then Barry, when Barry got fired, Barry wanted to destroy him.
Damn. Now is Killer the same? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you because I'll write it down. Go ahead. You was about to say it was common knowledge.
It was common knowledge that Barry had it in for Rob, was going to destroy Rob. That he had told several people that he had the shit on him, and he was going to destroy him. And basically, that's when the tape was leaked. Everybody knows it was Barry.
Damn.
But Barry caused the rift between the brothers because when he first came to get the tape, he went back and told Rob, Barry offered money to Killer for the tape. Killer's like, I ain't putting the tape in nobody's hand but my brother. Barry went back and told Rob that Killer wanted $50,000 for the tape. So basically, that's how everything started between the rift between the brothers. They didn't talk probably said 10 words since then. And shit, that was back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
So as far as you know, the brother didn't really want no money for the tape. He just wanted to give it to his brother personally.
No, man, he didn't want no money for the tape. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. You know, that was Barry playing both ends. Barry wanted the tape for himself. You know what I'm saying? But that was him playing both ends, the brothers against each other. And really, Killer had that they gave him a little bit of money, paid him his rent for 6 months, and he didn't hear from him until the trial, when they were trying to say it could be Killer.
Right.
Back then, they looked a lot alike. If you look at some of the videos and stuff, even in the documentary, you would recognize him today that it was the same person, but he was sitting in the Jeep with him, and they looked a lot alike back then.
Yeah.
They don't now. You know what I'm saying? Killer's had a hard life, and it shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
but
can tell.
they looked a lot. They were trying to create reasonable doubt, and we got a conversation with his brother Bruce, working for Rob at the time, offering Killer $50,000 in a record deal to say it was him on the tape.
Damn. So he was willing to go as far as to blame it on his brother.
Yeah.
Like, when at the end of the day, his brother could have just went to the authorities with the tape while it was in his possession.
Absolutely. His brother was subpoenaed. His brother would not testify. That's how loyal he was. But after years and years and years of just being on the street and the shit he was going through, because they were trying to create a reasonable doubt, his kids was getting beat up in school, teased and all that shit. And, you know, everywhere that he tried to get a record deal to music, he was blackballed. Rob still had his foot on his neck. And he just got set up, and out of anger, we went on a tour. We went on our media blitz, telling everything. You know what I'm saying? And you'd be surprised, man. These motherfuckers, they still didn't give a fuck. Yeah. You know, callers will call in, you're thirsty, you just want to be a star, and you know, why you doing this to your brother? And they were telling, look, R. Kelly ain't my brother. Robert is my brother. I lost my brother a long time ago. This R. Kelly done took over. You know, and it didn't start with this. It started with people in my family that he molested. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's and you know what? I said this during the video I did. It seems like his actions progressed over time to where he got more sophisticated with the shit that he was doing. You know, first it was like petty. I don't want to minimize what's going on because like you said, it is a serious situation. But what I mean is like hanging out at the McDonald's, you know, things like, or you know, at the tour, can y'all, you know, hey, go see what's up with them girls over there, to the point where now he has them allegedly in this house, you know, or as you know, as you're talking about the controlling thing, he's creating pets, he's molding them the way that he wants them to be. Several houses, right? I mean, it's I just don't understand how he's getting away with it.
Well, the thing is, because now he's gotten smart, he's more into women who are over 18, basically 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? So now they're of age. Yeah. But where he's going to get in trouble, and believe me, it's just a matter of time, is he has people that work for him that is over these girls, that watches these girls, that tells these girls like a madam in the house while he's working and touring and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And where he's going to get in trouble is where he's keeping these girls, he's not feeding them, he's abusing them physically and emotionally. And shit, you know, you see what they did to OJ. All you got to do is tell them, motherfucker, you can't leave, nobody don't leave this room. Yeah. And it's kidnapping.
It's kidnapping.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what he playing with now. Taking their phones, even in that video where a girl, you know, interviewing that girl, asking her where she was, you can see a shadow of a person waving their hands, the shadow on her chest, waving her hands like, don't answer that.
Don't answer that question. Yep.
Yeah,
I seen that.
Did you ever pick that up?
Yeah, I picked that up. I did a video on that. Where you can see him like waving. You can see the shadow waving her off.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I seen this girl, and I seen R. Kelly probably 9 months ago playing basketball down here in Atlanta. I played basketball at this church, and my guy, he lets him into the church and all that stuff. And we actually played basketball. The girl was there. You know, she wasn't allowed to talk to nobody. She she was there with somebody else, and they sat in the back of the church.
Oh, fuck. The call dropped. All right, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna get him back on the line. Make sure y'all hit that like button on this joint. Let me see. I'm gonna call him back. Give me 1 second. Damn. Ah, man. R. Kelly is off the hook, man. All right, I'm calling back now.
7.
Oh, damn. Let me wait and see if he called me back. Maybe his phone went dead. Oh, shit. Maybe his phone went dead, family. Y'all just, sit tight. Don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let me take this off. I don't want nobody to hear his phone number. I'm gonna try to call again. Yeah, it's just going straight to voicemail. Damn. Oh, shit. There we go. Is that you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we lost each other. Man, I was talking, I don't even know where I left off.
You know what? I got so messed up, fucked up by the phone going out. I can't even remember where you was at. What was we saying?
We were talking about how these allegations and the stuff he's doing now is going to get him kidnapped.
Oh yeah, kidnapping charges. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so, his game has elevated to where, I'm messing around with 14, 15-year-olds, 18, 19-year-olds, but, you can call them sex slave, or it's marginal because they're of age, they know what they're doing, but to be honest with you, man, he knows who to prey on. These girls, man, they're coming from nothing, and they lured in, this is a superstar, we're going to be in the mansion, blah, 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 and before you know it, shit, you're a prisoner. It's almost like a pimp, a human trafficking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You lure him in, and this cat been doing this for 25 years. They don't have no defense for him.
Yeah.
What 19, 20-year-old have a defense for this cat?
Yeah.
He got millions of dollars. You see him, he's shining, he's gleaming, buying you this, buying you that. Come on back to the house, couple days, you choose, and then next thing you know, shit, you're doing some shit you never thought you would do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then he done beat your self-esteem down so bad, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, because they said he's real mentally abusive as well.
Yeah, manipulating, abuse, physically and mentally, and he, like I say, it's a thin line between genius and insanity. And I'm gonna tell you something that is well known with people around him. Him and his brother, they suffer from paranoia and maybe a little bit of schizophrenia. It's always been you ask anybody that's just really, really close to him, yeah, you'll get that.
Yeah. What was there? Because I don't know if it was in the comments or in the email when we talked, but what actually, if you have already said it, you might have already said, but what were some of the things that were cut out of the documentary that you feel like should have been out there?
Well, a lot of the stuff about the brother that I actually shared that with them, but they thought they were going to get it from him, and when they showed up, he didn't really want to talk about it. He's holding up hope that they ain't really spoken over 20 years. That one day they're gonna be reunited, but a lot of them moved on and left them behind, and he's not thinking about them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole story, they just skipped over it. Killer really didn't want to elaborate on it or talk about it, and that's what I shared. You know what I'm saying? His story, because he got a hell of a story.
Right. Right.
Like I said, it got so bad between him, Rob being scared that his brother's gonna testify against him that they were saying it was a hit put out on Killer. at the time that this trial was going on. I mean, it got that bad.
You know, one of my supporters, somebody who support the platform, a friend. You know, she was just like, you know, because I was talking to her about the interview, and she was just like, you know, telling me, you know, giving me some advice. And then this Vince Staples situation pops up where he said that he's like got blew down on or received some type of threats because of things that he said about R. Kelly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at the time, you know, this was a while back. He don't hold the power that he once had. You know what I'm saying? When he was making all these record companies money, they protect their interests. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was supposedly some information found by some detectives, and they actually put Rob on notice like nothing that did not happen to your brother. You know what I'm saying? And it got so bad in Chicago where, you know, they kill us folks, they came up folks and all that stuff. And it became so bad that, you know, people would see Killer and how he was living, and they would become so inflamed at R. Kelly. They would pull up. I mean, one time it was said they pulled up to him at the light, like, you know, had guns pointing at him, like, nigga, take care of your brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's that bad.
It's that bad. I mean, wow.
This nigga is a monster.
Damn.
People love his music. You know, he's charming. He'll lure you in. He lured me in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was there until I seen what was going on. I was like, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people stay because they don't have anything else. You know, the people he surrounded with shit, they didn't have nothing when he took them, you know, off the street. You know what I'm saying? They had nothing to go back to. You know what I'm saying?
So it's kind of like
a lot of shit. They turn a blind eye.
It's kind of like he finding the perfect people to surround himself around. Absolutely. Who, like, if I turn on him, this is gonna fuck my money up.
Dude, even his bodyguard to this very day, he treats them and controls them the same way he does these girls. A lot of times they'll sit out in front of that house and they're not allowed to go get nothing to eat for like a day or two. He be starving these motherfuckers, and they're grown ass men.
Damn.
And I know this because one of my good friends for 25 years still works for him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Still works for him.
Still work for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really do. I mean, because I don't like seeing people getting taken advantage of, especially some sadistic shit like what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping these people at least, if nothing, get back control of their lives. And I'm talking about the women, you know what I mean? As well as some of the people that surround him who he's manipulated too. Like, get back control of their lives and get away from that shit. There was some mentioning about like some of the stuff that he was doing like in the studio. Have you ever do you know anything about that? You know, things he was doing with women in the studio while he was making music?
Yeah, there were always women in the studio, having sex with women in the studio, women in and out of the studio. You know, most of the times, like I said, during that time, it wasn't no underage. Because we in the studio session, there's engineers, there's other people around. So he was very careful of what he did in public, you know, as far as underage girls or whatever. Nobody ever seen it. But everybody just knew what was going down. Right. You know what I'm saying? They'd be led into the room and they wouldn't come out till the next morning. What the hell do you think going on?
Damn. God, this man.
You know, and Rock was the guy. Rock, you know, we all know Rock. Rock was the guy. He manages Escape and all of them. They were on our first tour, and that's basically where we picked up Rock. When we were in I think Virginia, from the playing ball. All we did was play ball. We was real close to them because the brothers, him, Killer, me, and my brother, all we did is play ball. And we played ball until 5 minutes before a show, jump on the stage all sweaty and shit. So we spent a lot of personal time with him. The Rock came on board, and he was in our camp. And then by the end of the tour, he had jumped camp and went over to Escape. And he was having a relationship with Tasha. They was dating and whatever. So he ended up getting in with him, getting a job and all that stuff. But since then, he's been in the business. He's managed Rob and did some road managing for Rob and all that shit. And believe me, he contradicted himself. I mean, you heard him on film say, well, I can't actually say, if the guy's sick, why would I call him a pedophile? Because that's what he is. And you know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no way that you don't know it. And, by the end of his interview, that's exactly what he called it.
Definitely. Yeah, you talking about Rocky Bivens, his former business manager. Yeah, because I think he was he basically ended up admitting that he was at or attended the secret marriage ceremony with R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Yeah, that's wild.
So if it was so secret, why would he be there?
Right.
Like I said, it was all orchestrated.
Trying to stay out of jail.
Management.
Yeah. I think at this point, man, the only thing that he needs to do probably is go just turn himself in, because I mean it's so much information out there. And I know they did a wellness check on his property down in Atlanta after
absolutely.
Timothy Savage and them. So the authorities, they did what they could, but the women is, the one girl, she's coming out and saying that nothing's going on. Then the one girl, she left and actually went back, so
now she's about to leave again.
Yeah.
So if she ever leaves and start talking, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time, man. You can't keep doing that kind of dirt for a long time and keep getting away with it. He should have set his ass down somewhere. When he got off that first trial, he'd been good. You know what I'm saying? But to carry on the same behavior, it just shows the level of his sickness.
That's a sickness. Were you ever around his wife, his former wife?
Oh yeah, I know. We call her baby girl.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We know well.
And how?
Did the same thing to her.
That's what I was gonna ask. How was his interaction with her?
The same way. On tour, she was 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else. She came from Chicago. She didn't have shit. And next thing you know, you got a gig, you torn, making $1,500 a week plus per diem. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And that was, 24 years ago. Shit, that was scratch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For somebody who didn't do nothing. And so, when I talked about the dancers, she was included. That's how he used to control them. He used to make them have sex with each other, make them have sex with him. He controlled her. She knew what she was getting. She married him, but, he was the prize, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's anything that you could say, like, concerning this particular situation that you haven't had a chance to say, what would it be?
Man, I done said a lot, but the main reason why I talk so adamantly about it now is because, I'm a father, I have a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can say, oh, nigga, you was getting that bag, you weren't saying shit then and all that shit, but again, you have to remember, that was 20-some years ago. You didn't have all these allegations, you didn't have these charges, you didn't have the trials and all that stuff when I was working. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All it was is, you was trying to keep young girls out the rooms, off the buses. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was working. So it wasn't that I was turning my eye. I was a bit naive. I was young, making money, and, I didn't spend 24/7 with Rob. I was out there trying to have fun myself. You know what I'm saying? But when I was called upon to do something that was against my morals, I never did it. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make that clear because that came up a couple times and it seems to come up every time we have an interview. Why come you didn't send him to the 30s? Well, first of all, I ain't never seen him with an underage girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't screw nobody in front of me. You know what I'm saying? It's just common knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see girls, and I didn't have a part of it. I didn't want a part of it. But, I didn't stand in there. I didn't film this shit. So, what was I going to say?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hindsight is 20/20. Now you look down, you're close to 50 years old, and you're looking back at the situation totally different now. You know what I'm saying? You have all these allegations. You have 20 years of allegations, 20 years a non-disclosure agreements, 2 years of paying off folks. It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, where there's fire, there's fire. It ain't where there's smoke.
Right. So basically, your motivation basically is like, at this point you older, time, you've had your own family, your own daughters, and you looking at like, listen, I can, come out and really speak on this stuff. Because actually, I don't know too many people besides yourself, and it's been a few other people who have really spoke on R. Kelly, but like tonight, I've never heard, anybody speak on it, in the way that you speaking on it tonight.
Yeah.
But,
and because, and I'm going to tell you, not to cut you off,
right.
Because a lot of people who are still in the music, it's taboo. If you're still in the industry, it's taboo. They see you, you close with the artist, you touring with the artist, you family with the artist, and now you're telling all the secrets, and you depending on this as your livelihood, you may not get another job with nobody else.
Right.
That's the biggest reason. Me, I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I write my own check. I mean, I love music, but it ain't my bread and butter right now. I do real estate. I flip houses. I build houses. You know what I'm saying? Music is still my passion, but I never depended on it as my livelihood. So I didn't have to take a lot of bullshit. A lot of these guys ain't got no choice. That's all they got. You know what I'm saying? Is that check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to go back to the streets of Chicago and no job. I mean, you ain't got nothing on your resume. You've been playing guitar, you've been playing drums for 15 years. What else you gonna do?
Yeah. That's sad, man. And he knows that. You know what I mean? And he knows that. So he uses it to his advantage.
Absolutely.
I mean, you do have some of the women they've come out, but it's like that, oh, she's lying or she's just trying to get paid or you know what I mean? That's always a deflection for when women come out. But as for regardless of when you came or when you start talking about it, man, I commend you for just talking about it, period. Because you don't see a lot of men come out and speak about stuff like this, especially for somebody who's as big as R. Kelly. I mean, at the end of the day, R. Kelly is a superstar worldwide, not just in the United States.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And phenomenal, man. I learned so much by being with him on stage, stuff that I carry with me today. He's a genius on that stage.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a genius as a predator as well.
Yeah, which is terrible, man. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it is. And people just, they just dismiss it because he makes good music. You know what I'm saying? And they'll attack you for speaking the truth. Not for saying something negative about somebody, but telling the truth. The shit that they already know.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
I know this nigga was on that tape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
You got people who is like, oh, that
was your daughter.
Right. You got people saying, oh, that ain't R. Kelly in the tape. Come on, man.
Come on.
That's him. You got people who are trying to make excuses for that. They're trying to make excuses for that.
I was done. I've been done with that nigga a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? When I saw the real him, I saw how he treated his family. You know what I'm saying? I've been done with that nigga. I mean, I love his music. I'll never buy it. I respect him as an artist. That's it. I don't respect him as a human being.
Yeah. Damn, man. I'm so glad like I said, I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to, speak with you on this particular topic and, tell your story and what you've seen and what you witnessed, man. And it's not really that easy a lot of times to get people to speak about these type of things or other things. You know what I mean? Especially when you ain't the big media networks and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate you coming and sharing with us.
Oh man, I appreciate your platform. You gave the fan. When I watch your show, I wasn't laughing when you was trying to clown me, but I was laughing when you was clowning everybody else. And then I was like, well, damn, who am I can't take it that person if I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So I understand, it's entertainment, but that's a valid point. I really the questions and stuff that you asked were pointed questions.
Yeah.
And I respected. I respected your. I don't know if you're true journalism, but I respected the platform that you were providing.
Yeah.
The questions you were asking, they were serious questions. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to give some insight because this is a topic that really nobody has really gone behind the veil. I think this was like the first documentary that really detailed and talked to different people from one decade to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely was a dope documentary. They did. They opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know. Now, it is some people who knew some of the things that were presented, but I mean, for me myself, personally, it was some things that was brought out that I didn't know about. The one thing that really messed me up before you go, the one thing that really messed me up though, and it still bothers me, but outside of all the things he's been doing to underage girls, he would go as far as to try to convince the courts that was not him and it possibly was his brother in that video. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's
that
crazy.
Was really effed up.
That's low.
That was really effed up. And he had the money and the power to string that long. Who have you known to string a case along for like 6 or 8 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to the point where the underage girl is not underage anymore. Plus, she never showed up to testify because he paid her off, and she was living in his mansion in Chicago with her family. Her mom, dad, all of them was living in that house. And Rob ended up letting the house go into foreclosure after the trial, and she was 21, and after they dropped the charges and found him not guilty, he let the house go in foreclosure with them living in it.
Right. That's
Yeah, it is.
He's a dirty nigga, man. He's dirty as fuck. Right. Dirty as fuck. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you too long, man. I appreciate the opportunity. You got my number, and so if you ever want to reach out, hit me up. If you ever, back home, man, hit me up. We can get together. Maybe go out, have something to eat and chop it up, man. Definitely reach out to me.
Absolutely, brother. And this can become a 10-part series show because I got a couple other people that I can give their numbers. You can follow up, and they got their own story.
All right, yeah. Let's link up and do that. I definitely would have them on. You know what I mean? We can talk.
Okay, definitely, brother. I appreciate the platform, and now that I know you're in Cleveland, we'll definitely get together.
Definitely. All right, peace.
All right, take care, man.
Yep. All right, y'all. I didn't want to hold them that long. I seen somebody asking about questions, but we was on the phone, so I wouldn't have been able to get the questions and answers thing in. But I definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. So you better watch yourself, Amadi. He finna be snitching. Whatever, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. For those of y'all who didn't catch it from the beginning, make sure y'all go back and replay this. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button before you exit the building. I think I'm gonna go over to 6 Dynasty Media too for a little bit, but I appreciate y'all for coming through. Shout out to Michael Phillips, man. Shout out to Nicole, Nikki. Shout out to Sister Kaba, my moderators, her and Asia Sims. Make sure y'all go into the description box and click all of the links for the Facebook group, the Facebook like page, the Instagram page, Twitter page, the PayPal if you want to submit any type of monetary donation, and the t-shirts, 6 Dynasty Clothing.bitcartel.com. All right, make sure y'all subscribe. You know what I mean? And we'll be going hard today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I mean? We got to get it in. All right. So peace to the family. I'm up out of here for now. See y'all in a little bit.
struggling. Got off my ass, hit the trap, right back hustling. Few hours in the spot, right back bubbling. Little funk in there, but that ain't nothing. Fuck it, boy, I be getting it. No days off. I'm trying to get filthy rich, young, black, and militant. Different than niggas claiming that they with this shit. Cause the difference since I'm living it. Boston Vita will serve you and your people. My gang cop heavy like Bossy and Al Pacino. We let the loud and D go. If it'll bring C-notes, just know these young niggas gon' stack chips like Pringles. I done had fucked up days and bad nights. It took a few L's trying to get my cash right. I can't slow down, I'm caught up in this fast life. And I ain't going home till I catch my last bite. These bitches mad trife, these niggas don't act right. I bet that AR make that ass act right.